Hey guys, I'm Holly Haven.
And I'm Andy Haven.
And we are the Haven Home Team. And we are here today to bring you guys the current market update. So this is the market update for November 2023. And we are using data from October.
Yeah, it's easier that way just so that we have a full month of numbers so that we can actually give you a real statistical number of what's been happening in the market to show what will happen in the future.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is we track these numbers. We have almost a full year's worth of data right now that we've been bringing you guys these updates, and it is more and more interesting every month. So let's dive in. You want to start with Dallas?
Yeah, we will start with Dallas here today. We do go from Dallas, Frisco, Prosper to Celina, just bigger to smaller areas so that we can compare those numbers a little bit. Our average list price in Dallas, Texas is just under $700,000. This is down about $40,000 from last month. Our sales to list price ratio is at right under 99% at 98.8. Our days to sell is up at 32 days. Our number of new listings is just under 1,400 at 1,346. And expired listings is at 1,272, which is down, which is great. That means that we are selling some of those homes instead of having them expire on the market. Months of inventory, we are still at 4 months, which is a pretty stable market, not fully stable market, but it is still looking good.
Yeah, that 4 months really still pushes us towards the seller's side. And I know it doesn't feel like that for everybody, but North Texas tends to be a pretty fast-paced real estate market in comparison to other areas. So 4 months of inventory basically says if all the inventory sold piece by piece in the way that it is sitting right now, it would take us 4 months to sell it all. So these numbers fluctuate quite a bit, but it's really interesting to me that we had our average list price went down by about $40,000 in Dallas. That's really not scary for us, guys. This is the fall market. Traditionally, this is slightly slower. We have fewer buyers looking in the market, just as a normally, right?
Yeah,
a normal
just a
sales
general
cycle.
rule, yeah.
So we have a lot of things happening right now, but I think you're going to be really interested to see what is happening in some of these northern suburbs north of Dallas.
Yeah.
So, Frisco, for example, we are up about $10,000 on that average list price, and we're about 98% list to sell. So that means, if a house is listed at $1 million, we might get that house for about 2% lower. That's what that average looks like. So we're seeing just a little bit of negotiation, but guys, 98%, that's pretty darn close to 100% of list price.
Yeah, it's still very good. And that just means that, like she said, 2% of those homes are going under 100%. But the majority are still going at 100%.
Yeah, we're staying really close to those list prices, which means we're not seeing huge price drops. Again, we're seeing the prices actually continue to go up month over month on average. Our days to sell in Frisco was right at 36, which is just up by a few days. So guys, 30 days on the market is that's a really strong number for listings. We have 192 listings new, that is down from the month prior, and 313 expired listings, which is up from the previous month. Again, these numbers are very consistent with our standard fall market cycle. So these are not freaking us out. These are not scary numbers. We love to see that those list prices are still going up and our days on market are still really low. And Frisco is seeing about 3 months of inventory, so a little bit less than Dallas, which is pretty normal. We have really high rated schools, a lot of people moving into that area just due to the fact that it is easy to access all of the DFW Metroplex. So that's one of the reasons we see some of these smaller suburbs, smaller than Dallas, really have a little bit better numbers sometimes.
Yeah.
What's happening in Prosper?
This one's talking about a smaller area. So Prosper is growing. We're growing very rapidly. And that proves with the average list price this month. I've been expecting this every single month, but this time we hit it. We are over $1 million of our average list price in the city of Prosper. We're at $1,027,000. So that's honestly a big deal in Prosper. People think that Prosper can be affordable, but looking at that number, that kind of skews the numbers a little bit.
Yeah, and I want to point out something because December of 2022, guys, we're talking 10 months, 11 months of data. In December of 2022, our average list price was $847,000. We have now increased that to $1,027,000. So for all of those people that keep telling us the market's crashing, the prices are dropping, you're going to get a bargain, guys. Go in there and just, really low cut these sellers. It's not happening. The data tells us that our prices are continuing to go up. So I'm going to use this moment for my soapbox.
Okay,
for the buyers that are sitting on the fence and you're waiting for lower interest rates, you're also waiting for the prices to continue to increase. So just know that you're going to give up one to get another, and I'll leave that right there.
Yeah, and another thing to consider is last December, we were in an incredible market with low interest rates. and our average list price was only $847. Now we have higher interest rates, around 7 to 8%, depending on what you're looking at, and people are still average list price of $1 million. So that is crazy. Our sales price to list price ratio is up just a little bit. We're at 97.3, which is great. Days to sell at 56. Our number of new listings is down a little bit at 86 new listings. That is really low considering our average list price is $1 million. That means that on average, most of our homes are around 800 to $1 million plus. So that is pretty crazy. Expired listings were at 106, which is great. That's not too bad. And months of inventory, we are up just a little bit at 4 months, but again, we only have 86 new listings. So.
And we mention this every time we talk about Prosper and Celina. We have a lot of new construction in these areas, which does skew some of our numbers a little bit, makes it very different than Frisco and Dallas, where we just have a little bit less of those new construction. Dallas, we have a lot less new construction. Prosper and Celina, we have a lot more. It skews some of those days on market, and it skews some of our months of inventory because we have builders put it on the market. It's not actually ready to move in. So it extends those timelines a little bit.
Well, and even on that point, if you're looking at Dallas, you have a lot more options for refurbished homes, cheaper homes. The price difference can be very drastic in the city of Dallas. So that skews our numbers a lot as well when comparing to smaller areas.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to dive into our final one that we share with you guys every month, and that is Celina, Texas. Most of you know it is a very fast growing small town. But guys, Celina is going to be the size of Frisco and possibly more so. So just, start looking at that for your future equity growth, because our list price is up again this month. So it was up just a little bit. We went from 735 last month to about 739, 740 this month. 98% sales to list price. Guys, we're not seeing big price reductions. We're not seeing a lot of negotiations. 52 days on the market, which is up a little bit from last month. Again, kind of normal with the fall cycle and the new construction that we have. We had 165 new listings. That is actually the most new listings we've had in Celina since we started really tracking this December of 2022. So this is a huge number, seeing that we have 165 new listings. That is a lot of our builders are playing catch up, and we're actually getting some of that new inventory really available to buyers now. 141 expired listings, which that number is up a little bit, but if somebody doesn't have a place to go, if they really don't have to sell, we're seeing a lot of people test the market. And we have a lot of people pull their houses off at this time of year because we're moving into the holidays. And people who want to sell, need to sell, they're going to make the move. They're just holding off right now. So that's not uncommon at all. And again, we're at that 4 months of inventory, which has been pretty much across the board from Dallas all the way north to Celina.
Yeah, so this market update looked really good. I mean, if you're looking to buy, now is the time. Although interest rates are up, you can use your money in the future to refinance. This is a great time. If we look at numbers, which we can do in another video, we can show that buying a more expensive house with a higher interest rate and then refinancing is actually cheaper than buying the same price house at a lower interest rate. So.
And fighting people in the crazy market we're expecting to see in the spring. Yeah. I know we mention this every month. We even get comments every now and then on our YouTube videos telling us we're crazy, it's not going to happen. But guys, we're seeing it across the board. National Association of Realtors is telling us it's likely to happen. So we can expect a really, really strong market in the spring. And that means more competition for the buyers, which means you're going to be paying more for the house, even if you saved a little bit of on interest rate. So reach out to us. Let's educate you on the process, what your options are. Don't look at that interest rate and think, oh my gosh, it's not worth it, because guys, it is totally worth it. If you are in a position to move, you are qualified to buy a home, we can definitely help you come up with some solutions to make sure it is viable, and actually that you're in a better place than you would be if you waited.
Well, and something to consider that we talked about in Prosper in the last 10 months, it has increased over $170,000 in 10 months. If you wait 6, you're looking for that price increase. So that's just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind.
Yeah. And for some of you guys that forgot what we were doing in the crazy COVID competitive housing market, guys, we were waiving contingencies. We were waiving inspections. We were, giving a ton of money extra on top of list prices. We know that some of that is not going to be as strong. We're not going to probably see that 100 and 150,000 over list price. We took those big price increases a couple of years ago. But guys, we do expect to see very, very competitive offers showing up again in the spring. And if these houses are already up, a couple $100,000 from just 10, 11 months ago, we can only imagine what it's going to look like in 6 months, as she mentioned. So let's help you guys get into the house of your dreams. Let's give you the education you need to decide if it's the right time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is all for our November market update. If you have any questions, you can drop them down below. If you want to follow our social media, we answer a lot of these questions throughout the days and months of the year. Everything's down below. We will see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.